Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Colossal Boxing Talk Team together yet again, and today we have a bevy of topics to talk about. But first, we're gonna let everybody introduce themselves. Let's go, Miguel.
Big
Alright, it's your boy Mouse. Guys already know Pennsylvania in the building, you dig?
Mr. Jasper. Well, Mr.
hold
Jasper.
on, my bad.
Well, I'll go ahead and step in. This your boy
Be
King.
cool.
Whoa.
Be cool.
Well, this your boy CJ, aka King Goodfella.
And
D-Town.
this is Smooth Cat coming to
Hey
you
man, my
live.
phone about to die.
Huh?
Plug
My
it
phone
up.
about to die. So I might not be here long.
Okay.
All right. Well, tonight, I mean, we can talk about last night for a quick second. Talk about only one fight to talk about. What about Jalen Love getting knocked out last night? Was it something that you was
Woo!
waiting on to happen, or was it something that? All right, go ahead. Step in. This your boy
You know what? I'll say this. I wasn't necessarily waiting on it to happen,
King
but
Goodfella.
I kind of saw after the Rosado fight. I said I knew it would come in the near future, but hopefully this loss helps him rededicate himself so he can kind of get off that high horse that he was on in regards to being on the money team. Oh, I'm undefeated. I'm this. I'm the best 168 pounder. I'll beat this guy and beat that guy. So hopefully this loss helps him rededicate himself and get himself together.
When
Hopefully
you
nothing for the best for him.
When you think the Andre the real fight would have taught the sparring match taught him a little bit of lesson about the tricks and the trades of fighting at 168 and
Yeah,
how
but
he
you got, you
You
class.
know
got
what? In that fight, he sat there. He threw that wide left hook. And when you throw the wide left hook, only thing it takes, as we've seen simultaneously in boxing plenty of times, that short left hook gets you every rep.
He was trading left hooks with a left hooker. I mean that
Yeah.
was specialized in left hook. You can't trade left hooks with a puncher.
yeah,
Go ahead.
but hold on, you just said, Mike, you just said he got to rededicate himself. I don't think dedication's a key with Love. I think he ain't got no skill. I mean, the dude, listen, he's a 168 fighter who really lost to a 154 fighter in Rosado.
Yeah.
But I agree with Miguel. I don't think it has anything to do with dedication. And I'm not gonna say he has no skills, but he doesn't have the skills to carry himself the way he carries himself, as far as him being some next big thing and speaking on Golovkin and all these other fighters that shows, he's above him, you know what I'm saying? So he need to go back to the drawing board, maybe drop down to 154. CJ keeps saying he's a super undersized super middleweight, so maybe he need to consider going to 154, but I doubt that because he could
That's
barely
the only
make one.
that's the only viable weight class that he can win a championship in. That's the weight class that he's designed body built for is 154. But he not gonna drop down that far. 160. I mean he had to really dedicate himself to making that weight. Like Mike said, I think it is a thing of dedication. I mean you got to be very disciplined on how you approach your weight losses and weight gains. And I don't think he ever looked sturdy enough to be at 168. It didn't like he gained the right weight. That was just my thing with Jalen Love. He just never fit in the weight classes that he's been fighting in.
I just don't think he's gonna be championship. He's not championship, caliber. Anybody from 154 to 168 probably handle him easily. Andrade, Canelo, Kirkland probably sparks him. All these guys, Quillen, Rail, both the rails, everybody, man. He just
I
got
think at
that. He
154, I think
all
at
right.
154 he can win a belt. He could be Ishe Smith. He could be Ishe Smith and somehow sneak a belt, sneak a IBF. But it's not
You
gonna
actually
happen.
think
Right, but Ishe Smith is his stablemate though.
That's what I'm saying.
Same
They're
type
not
of
going to
fighter
fight
he
each
is.
other.
Same type of fighter he is.
Man, I wouldn't watch that fight. That fight, because last night's card put me to sleep.
No, I wasn't saying Ishe Smith fight Jalen Love. I said he can be that type of fighter and win a belt and still a belt.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
No,
Who gonna be his Bundrers though? Who gonna be his Cornelius Bundrers that he gonna take it from?
Carlos
that's what I'm
Bellion.
saying.
Okay. Wait, who? Who? Unless Bundrers got a son or something, then he ain't taking no title from no 154.
Get one.
Unless he get one of them interim titles from one of these people over there in them other countries or somebody.
Get the
That's
Justin
not that's
Gaethje
not
fight.
that's
Get
not
the
real, bro.
What'd you say,
Go
bro?
ahead, Miguel.
That's not the interim titles. They not real belts. Those are fake
You
belts.
know,
Those
hey, anybody from you know how Florida take that and run with it, man. He'll swear, he'll swear that's a real championship just to make himself feel good. And
that's
he know his roster. You see his roster, man. His
yeah, but
roster
that's
looks like crap, dog.
all you gotta do is buy yourself a Frosted Flake cereal box and you get an interim belt, man.
I'm gonna try to buy me one of them things and see if I can, be called a champion.
A better question is, where did he find these guys at? Mickey Bay, I understand. Mickey Bay
Mickey
can
Bay
fight.
got skills.
Yeah, Mickey Bay can fight, but where did he find the rest of these guys at, dog?
He found Purdue Jack. Did he find Purdue Jack in the Netherlands?
Didn't make knocked out by Molina.
Who?
Mickey Bay wasn't
Did
the
you
one
just
that got knocked
Yeah.
out by.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He got skill, but he got no chin.
No.
You know what? Wait, hold on. I ain't gonna question his chin because hey, you can say what you want because shit, Molina almost had Lucas Matisse on the brink too, and we know
Yeah, but
Matisse got a chin.
Matisse really never had nobody put pressure on him till Danny came around.
But that's very true too. That he wasn't back, and he never been back like that when he fought Danny. But John Molina had him on the canvas about 3 or 4 times, and
Right.
that right hook then dropped Lundy, and I think Lundy has shown a better chin lately.
Danny damaged Matisse. That wasn't the same Matisse.
I think they damaged each other.
Right.
They
I
damaged.
agree. I think they damaged each other.
Great either. But that Matisse wasn't the same Matisse we saw before that Danny fight.
If Matisse don't come out and have a good performance this time around, I think that's just the conclusion. He got a match.
Lucas, in my opinion, he kind of in the last fight, he looked like how Walter used to look. When Walter was coming around at first, everybody, oh, it's a monster down there at 140. Then he sat there, and I think I think it was Paul Williams who knocked out Walter Matisse first.
Yeah, I think it might have been.
Because because Walter Matisse was a force too. No, Citron.
Mm.
And it's like after that fight, dude, he was never the same.
Yeah.
He still had that power, but he wasn't. He didn't have a sturdy chin or nothing anymore.
I mean, sometimes it's not even. Sometimes the fighters just lose their soul. I mean, look at Taylor after the Chavez fight. After that fight, Taylor was never ever the same again.
Yeah, sometimes we lay the blueprint on guys, they never can adjust and translate to new style of fighting. But
even Matisse, the thing with Matisse was everybody had him as a freaking machine that was knocking everybody out.
Come on, Miguel. Me and Miguel, then we knew he could be beat. The rest,
baby.
Hey, I can tell you like this. You can go back and look at my records on that one. Hey, I called Danny winning that one.
I was the first one to call Danny winning, and me and Miguel was the first ones calling that shit.
Yup. And everybody was saying we were crazy, we were gonna lose, and all this other shit. And then after that fight, everybody ate them words. But you know what I mean? Before that, and I think that was what Matisse's problem was that he lived that road. All right. When he lost to Zab Judah, he told himself he would never ever lose a decision again. So he was knocking everybody out. But by you telling yourself the knockout, listen, you're not gonna be able to knock everybody out.
Right.
So when you take away that KO factor, you have to be able to win on points. And Matisse lost that. I mean, not that he lost it, he never had it. The fact that he said after the Zab Judah fight, he can't win a decision, he has to win by knockout. And
you know what? He said that more out of frustration, and if we be honest, I don't think Zab beat him. I don't.
Me neither.
I don't think Zab won that fight.
It was a close fight. That's all I'm gonna say. It was a real close fight. I think the knockdown tipped in the Matisse favor, but it was a close fight.
That same thing I said. I think the knockout gave it to Matisse.
The transition into another subject. What should y'all think about Canelo returning to HBO?
Man, that's huge. That is fucking huge. that has a lot of implications. Basically, I think what's happening is I think Oscar is getting ready to team up with Top Rank to battle against Mr.
Al
Al
Heyman.
Heyman.
Listen, right now Oscar's whooping Al Heyman's ass because Showtime event last night was really like a Friday night fight type event.
That's what it ultimately
Friday night fights ain't never been that horrible.
Time out. That's what ultimately it is. That was a showbox card. It wasn't a championship boxing card. It was a ESPN level showcase card. That's all it was. And just so happened the main event got upset, and people thought it was it was a showbox card. It's the ESPN level. That's pretty much all it was. I wouldn't say Oscar's winning. Oscar's still losing because we getting bullshit. We all losing because we getting bullshit fights.
Yeah.
That just to run out people contracts so they can just be strictly Al Heyman.
Yep.
And by him taking Canelo to HBO, because Canelo has no contract with Showtime, by him taking him to HBO it's not a bad idea because he'll get more exposure and more subscribers to watch his fights. And he'll be able to do a pay-per-view in a little while, but his three opponents are Joshua Clottey, Andrade, and James Kirkland. And if any indication that he's going to HBO, it sounds like if he goes to HBO and the fights to HBO, it's going to be James Kirkland or Andrade because there's two fighters that HBO has invested money in so far.
Right.
Yeah, but right now HBO, like certain divisions, have better talent. And likewise with Showtime. Obviously, Showtime has the 147 division, pretty much all the fighters over there.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. I thought the Kell Brook and Sean Porter fight was a pretty good fight.
Absolutely.
Too, so it's not that they don't have that they're, screwing us, the fans or anything like that. I just feel like right now with Oscar trying to partner up with Top Rank or stop the thing, there's nobody really on Showtime to really. He's really has shown no interest in trying to put matches together for Showtime. He's putting more interest now back into HBO. But at the end of the day, HBO really made Golden Boy.
Yeah, true.
Showtime was really never. When you talked about big time boxing, you talked about HBO. You didn't talk about Showtime.
Yeah.
Anytime Showtime got hype, I hate to cut in, is when Tyson went over there and when Floyd went over there.
Right.
And it's going to get back to HBO being the top dog again with Golden Boy going over there. I don't know. I didn't like Richard Schaefer leaving Golden Boy, but, seeing all the bullshit fights that Al Heyman is making, and the thing is, he's not, all right, he's an advisor. He's not even the matchmaker. So it's not really like people could say he's making them. He just tells fighters, them. And these guys are believing the bullshit that they getting for this fucking money. Fighters are not to promote.
Go ahead. It's gonna come down to who does Oscar have besides Canelo? He just lost Abner Mares. It's gonna be who does he have to match up? He's trying to put Danny Garcia in there versus Pacquiao, but Danny Garcia is strictly Al Heyman, and maybe Al Heyman will do it just for exposure and to cash out Danny Garcia. But I don't see that fight happening. It's like what fighters, like Bob Arum said, what fighters do Oscar De La Hoya have?
You know what? It's a thing like this. What I say. Okay, it's like you say, majority of all the fighters that you think are Golden Boy are with Heyman. But on the flip side of it is, and now this is why I'll say Oscar is winning overall. Are y'all catching all of Al Heyman's big stars are getting losses put on them?
Well, I wouldn't call Sean Porter a big star yet, but he had a belt, so.
I'm not necessarily. I'm not putting him in that. I'm more referring about Adrien Broner, Gary Russell Jr. and those types. The guys who Heyman are really investing money
in. His hype job. Money in. He invested time with Gary Russell, but he invested no money into him. But Adrien Broner, yeah, and
he invested money in Russell.
Well, he invested money. Gary Russell.
Don't ask how you don't come in the show doing that.
Yeah, and
Oh, okay.
All right, out of the three, who would y'all want to see Canelo fight?
Honestly, like you said, me for the most entertaining fight, James Kirkland. But if it's about making the best overall fight, I guess it would be Andrade.
What do you mean you guess, man? What you get? What you mean you guess? What you mean? You talking about guess? That's definitely would be the best fight.
You know what? You know why I would say he would guess about that Andrade fight, and that's the fight I kind of pull towards. Is because would they fight for Andrade belt? That's what I would say. Would they fight for
He
that?
need to.
Would he fight at
Find a division.
Canelo getting to the point like Floyd. He almost want to say it in his Mayweather voice. Belts don't do nothing but collect dust.
How he can't be thick like that. He's still not even a. I mean, he's a big name.
Right.
You
But
know,
he ain't the biggest man. He not even top. Go ahead, Miguel. My bad.
because they're on the same boat. Like, I mean, his name. That's all you get from Canelo. It's not like he's not in nobody's top 5 pound for pound list or anything. Maybe not even top 10. You know.
No. He's in everybody's top 10.
Oh,
He ain't in my top 10.
Ain't on my top 10.
Hey, Gerald, that's your step brother. I don't know why he ain't in your damn top 10.
Let me see.
That ain't my step brother. Hey.
Go ahead. Who would you want to see, Jarrell? Andrade, Clottey, or
if they was Kirkland is the one that sell the most.
Andrade the most dangerous and most likely to pull off the upset.
I think Kirkland is the most dangerous.
I think style wise, yeah, Kirkland is style wise. Kirkland is more entertaining, but the most dangerous would be the battle of the young guns, Andrade versus Canelo. That would just be an event. That is something boxing need, because to put 2 young guns in there at Canelo got a loss, but put them in there together at they peak, that'd be an explosive fight. I think that'd be just equally as
okay. Now I'll say this, and this isn't to be funny. But before Demetrius Andrade gets on the schedule or fight that caliber, who is he gonna beat to do that? What has he done to deserve that fight?
I mean, when you acting like Canelo, you got like Canelo is like the platinum trophy. I mean, 2 young guns in the fight, they should want that.
Right. Hey, true. But on the flip side, well, we have this. Demetrius Andrade, he has a mandatory challenger who he won't mention.
Oh, why mention somebody?
Come on, Mike. You got some against Andrade, man. You bash him and praise Canelo like
it ain't got nothing to do with bashing nobody.
You bash him every single chance you get.
No.
You bash him every single chance you get.
It ain't got nothing to do with bashing nobody. Hey, flat out and plain simple.
Mike is going down.
Jamel Charlo versus Demetrius Andrade.
Why? Okay. Mike. If your son was boxing and he had a choice to fight Charlo or fight Canelo, which fight you want him to take?
I would give him Charlo.
So you're gonna turn down
you gotta earn it. You have to earn it. Flat out and simple.
Did Canelo earn the Floyd fight?
Yes. How he didn't?
Beat
How
Austin.
Hold on. Here we go. Hey, was Austin Trout, was he not coming off his career best win? Was he not looked at as the best super welterweight in the world? Yes or no?
Man, I didn't look at him as the best super welterweight, but I mean most people did. I'll give you that. But come on, man. Andrade got a belt, man.
Okay. Here we go. Outside of him having the belt, what else does he bring to the table other than Vannis?
Hold on, you're saying that because Trout beat Cotto, that he was considered the best super welterweight in the world?
Hey, everybody called him the best super welterweight in the world.
When Lara was still out there?
Yes, everybody called Trout the best.
All right, to cut in for a minute, they got Canelo at 10, the ring, they got him in the top 10. And what y'all know about this? What y'all know about Roman Gonzalez? He had 9.
Roman Gonzalez, he a solid fighter too. He if I'm exact, I think he had 118, ain't he? Something like that. He's a little guy.
He whooping ass. 39-0, 0 draws and 33 knockouts. He whooping ass. That's what he doing.
Yeah, he whooping ass for sure. He a little guy. He a little crusher.
Go ahead.
In Boo Boo's defense, who did he beat to earn a shot? That belt that Canelo don't have that Boo Boo got.
Okay. Look at it like this though. Boo Boo, he has a title, true. Arizona Laura has the title as well. Did Canelo want that? No,
That's because
Canelo
it
wants them
wasn't
belts that Mayweather got.
Mayweather don't have a WBO. That's a legitimate title right there that he can win.
Canelo didn't want that belt because he couldn't make weight.
That could be true.
Yeah,
But,
I mean that's a possibility as well.
Let's be real. Why wasn't it a title fight? Because he made a catch weight that was. I mean, come on now. If he would have came in at the weight where he was supposed to be, I guarantee that would have been a title fight.
all right.
He said he didn't want Laura's belt. He wanted the real belt. He wanted the belt he lost to Floyd.
He don't even believe that shit himself. No fighter's gonna sit there. He don't want no belt.
All right,
hey, that's what he said. I'm quoting him. I'm not quoting me.
He did say that.
He also said that Floyd's team said they wanted the catch weight of 152, but you clearly heard it from his team.
Mm.
All right, let's transition into this weekend's card coming up. First, let's talk about Steven Upshur versus Adrien Broner. How y'all see that fight turning out?
You know what? That's a fight. It's like this. Like you say, Steven Upshur, he's the homie. And Adrien Broner is a pretty cool guy himself. But honestly, that's a fight. I mean, this fight, from what I've been seeing so far with my film study, I think this fight is a lot closer than a lot of people anticipated it to be. Because all I'm hearing is how Berto's gonna blast him out. Ooh, I think Berto gonna have a lot of problems with that footwork and that length that people are overlooking. And also that left hook that I mentioned, that left hook is the key for Steven Upshur. For Berto has to make this a dog fight. He has to put Upshur, he has to get him uncomfortable. Because if he lets Upshur box, then more than likely he's going to lose a wide decision.
Because Berto, for the love of God, Berto don't got no feet at all, no inside game.
Right.
Yeah, but you know what, Berto on top of his game, he won the, you know what I mean, he one of the good ones in that division. The problem with Berto is he gonna come in as Adrien Broner, or is he gonna come in as money Mayweather Adrien Broner? Is he gonna try to use that bootleg shoulder roll he got? You know what I mean?
Oh,
that's
man.
for Berto. If he stops that bullshit shoulder roll, he could actually be doing some damage.
I remember he first unveiled that shit versus Robert Guerrero. I thought, what is he doing? He was getting punished.
Yo.
hey, well, no. The part that was funny, it's like he watched Floyd in the stands, and so he doing like this, but then, motherfucker, don't you see Floyd moves his head? You got to move your head too. You can't just keep your head like this and think everybody gonna miss.
Yeah, but these, you know what the problem with these fighters are, and this Floyd Mayweather shoulder roll, is that these dummies don't understand that Floyd does a shoulder roll on the defensive. He's not walking down fighters with the shoulder roll. When he's in the middle of the ring, he's not doing the shoulder roll. It's only when he's being on the counter side of
against the ropes.
You know, and these guys are trying. That's why Adrien Broner sucks at it, because he's a walk down fighter trying to do a shoulder roll coming forward.
Yep. You see, when Floyd in close, he go to the peekaboo defense.
Right.
And at least he uses some feints to get off. The rest of these boxers don't even use no feints. They just all offensive, all defensive with it.
No, you know something else? Well, do you know it's not everybody who calls themselves trying to emulate the shoulder roll? It's like they don't do nothing but head hunt. Don't y'all see Mayweather throws to the body too to get you open, to get you thinking? It's like they be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna land one telling blow, and that's gonna be the end of the fight. But that's not Mayweather's mindset. Is I'm gonna break you down mentally and physically.
The only thing I see with this fight that goes on Berto's advantage, like that I feel is clear, it's a clear advantage to Berto, is this is Steven Upshur's biggest fight.
Yeah.
Berto's been here before. You know, the only issue that I have with Berto is where what the last fight he had was against Soto Carras, right?
Yeah.
Right.
when he injured his shoulder.
Yeah.
So, where are you fully healed from that injury? And what happens if he injures it again? You know what I mean? That's the only thing I have regarding that fight. But I still think Berto is still the better guy. Not to take away from Steven Upshur. But a lot of times these guys think they're ready or they can handle the limelight, and it's a little bit different when you come in as a bigger star because you already know the judges already favor you. So you really got to put in. Steven Upshur has to really put in work against Berto and make it look convincingly good for him to be able to win a solid decision. Because if it's a real close fight, we know it's going to go to Berto.
Very true.
Yeah. Speaking a lot of truth, though.
Who y'all got
Alright.
winning?
Hey, let's switch gears and let's talk about
Who y'all got
Mr.
winning? Who y'all got winning?
No, you gotta. We ain't doing no predictions yet.
Yeah, it's the last show before the fight. Just give a prediction.
Oh man, TBD.
Oh my God, this nigga always decided the last minute. Man, I got Berto winning close fight.
You don't want to hurt Steve on feeling. That's all right. I'm gonna do it for you, Mike. I'm sorry, Steve. You on my Facebook. Don't get mad. I got Berto winning the decision by 12.
I got Berto winning a close decision, man. I'm sorry to the homie, but I just think he gonna steal one. I think it's gonna be a close competitive fight though. Oh man.
All right, let's switch gears.
Let's give a prediction for guys. It's not even. I won't even. You're gonna have to answer the Adrien Broner and the Matisse one, dog. You're gonna have to answer both of them if you're gonna get this one up.
Hey, I'll answer one out of the card.
No, you answering the next two. You always get away with that shit. No, you answering the next two.
No, I ain't gotta get away with it. Hey, I'm
always get away with it. You always avoid the prediction.
Huh?
You always. Now I want Adrien Broner prediction then.
All right, here we go. I'll come with it now. I got Upshur winning the split decision.
Okay, that's all I wanted to hear. Next topic. Go ahead.
Hey, yo, CJ. He really wants Steve to come back on the show. That's why he said that.
I'm just keeping it real. I mean, I think it's gonna be a close fight though. It's gonna be a fun fight to watch.
Hey, I think he's gonna be close. Hey, I don't think Berto. I don't think Berto is the same Berto from a few years ago. So I think Steve getting him at a good time.
Hey, and it's the second time he hurt that shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, I think. I want to say he gets stopped. The fight gets stopped because of his shoulder, but I'm gonna just stick with the Berto prediction because it's a fight. He really supposed to win this time, and if he don't win this time, he gonna have to retire.
Yeah.
All right, now let's go to Mr. Robert Massa Ortiz versus Lucas the Machine Matisse.
Two big punches. That's
two big punches. Two solid finishes.
Who is managing Matisse's career?
You said what? What'd you say, Miguel?
But two big punches. It's all this fight's gonna be about who the tougher SOB is gonna be. Who can take the punch? If Robert Massa can take that punch, it's gonna be a fun fight. And Matisse still can take his power. It's gonna steal the card. I can say
most definitely. This fight will win fight of the night. Like damn near every Matisse fight wins fight of the night.
That's why I like watching Matisse fight. He fights some of the. I mean, they need to get that dude a world title shot, man. They need to have the first guy that deserved a world title when Danny dropped them belts is Matisse. He deserved his title at 140.
Yeah,
because he should have had Lamont Peterson belt.
Yeah, he surely should.
And you know what? What's the name should have had? And if you date it back, Danny Garcia should have had it first. Because when the IBF ruled to let Peterson keep, when the drug scandal came down, they let him keep the belt. That was right after that. Amir Khan should have had the WBA and the IBF and the ring belt. So Danny Garcia really should have had it first, but
right, he should be only one title away from being the unified the undisputed champ.
He should be the undisputed. He got WBA, WBC, and IBF in the ring belt.
Right, but he still need that WBO
Oh
to
yeah,
make it official though.
yeah, WBO. Who got the WBO?
Chris Algieri.
Oh yeah, Ruslan did have that belt.
Yep.
That slipped my mind. Ruslan did have that belt. I thought him and Victor Proskauer was gonna fight, but as far as this fight going, I mean, no, this is like probably the best fight of the card, because you know that's gonna end in a knockout. And man, I just can't wait for this fight.
Hey, I'm overly excited for this fight. Like I said, that's a fight I've been studying for a while now. And what I will say about Ortiz is one hell of a finisher. It's like when he gets you hurt, he finishes you. But on the flip side, Matisse does as well. But I'm not sure exactly if Ortiz, I know he has legit power, but I'm not sure if his power is elite. Like we know without a shadow of a doubt that Matisse's power is elite, but we don't know that about Ortiz's power just yet on this stage.
Yeah, and it's a lot of things we gotta find out. Can he take a shot? Does he have the stamina to keep going? Can he take it to the body? Can he handle Matisse's speed? That's very underrated.
And his counterpunching ability.
And the way he get low and pop back up with shots. Yep. I mean, he does things he's not a one-dimensional fighter. Like
he's cerebral.
You said what?
He's very cerebral at
times. Yeah, he is.
Yo, that's what talking about Matisse, right?
Yep.
Now, who the hell is managing Matisse's career?
It's Al Heyman now.
Why is it that? I mean, you just saw if you put him in two big fights against Garcia and Molina against two hard punches, instead of now trying to get him back into that killer mode again and putting him against better style fighters, are you still throwing him with punches? I mean, that makes no sense as to what they're doing with Matisse's career right now.
I mean, you know what? A guy like Matisse isn't as marketable as some of the other guys, even though he's beginning to get marketable. But I think what Heyman is doing with him, Heyman is trying to keep Matisse busy, so Matisse isn't like trying to like constantly going for the Danny rematch. That's what I believe, honestly.
I think he's just holding the seat warm for when the belts get
right.
When Danny dropped them belts pretty soon, and Matisse should be the first person to get his shot at them belts versus an easy opponent. He deserves an easy fight because he's in there with all these brutal punchers. He probably been in there with the most big punches out of anybody in the last calendar year.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it doesn't make sense as to what they're. I mean, I understand where you guys are coming from with that, but I mean, at the end of the day, if you're trying to keep him with stay busy fights, I mean, you just gave Danny a Rod Sauka. Why not give Matisse a Rod Sauka?
Because Matisse, Danny headlined that fight. He was old headliner fight with a minimum price of $700K, and they just gave him that $700K out and just gave it to him. But Matisse definitely deserved that fight though. Like you said, he deserved a fight. But the problem with Matisse, like Mike said, he's not as marketable though.
Danny headlined the Herrera fight in Puerto Rico, and that was, yeah, I mean, like you can't sit there and. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day,
look at it this way. Danny Garcia did 801K versus Rod Sauka. He peaked at 108K, and Sean Porter and Kell Brooks peaked at 600 over just 600K. So that just tell you the type of star that Danny has become lately. I mean, after the Matisse fight, he didn't blow up like he should have blew up, but he blew up enough.
Right.
But Matisse should get it. When he get the world title, I think it'll make up for him. Maybe you can get a Hank Lundy in there for a world title shot at 140. Or
yeah, but do you honestly think that with the opposition that they're giving Matisse, because I mean ultimately you're giving him big punchers, so he's also taking a lot of damage in the process. Remember, he may be too damaged by the time he ever gets a shot at a world title again.
Yeah, he should be getting a shot early next year. I think Lamont moving up, and Danny moving up. I want to say Danny's not gonna fight Victor Pastel. He's not gonna fight him. He's gonna move up.
Hey, that's a dangerous fight for Danny too. Very dangerous.
I think Danny will win that fight. I think it's a good
Hey,
fight, but Pastel seems kind of
I'm
unsturdy.
not. I'm not saying I think Pascal will necessarily beat him.
He has the style to beat him.
Yeah, he does.
He has the style to beat him. He has a Herrera like style, but he doesn't have the orthodox movement of Herrera. But he has some good smooth. He's a very smooth
He
boxer.
got more power.
Yeah, he has a very smooth boxer. But what I seen out of the Aiden, was it the Sadak Aiden fight? I see some things with Danny style could be very effective if he's more of the attacking style Danny. But if he's the Danny that's gonna wait to be second, I mean that's Danny's biggest downfall. If he's not getting off first, or countering off of your punches or your flurries, he's in trouble. If you want Danny be second and make Danny chase you and move you around the ring, and he follows your lead, you got a good chance of beating Danny Garcia.
The problem with Danny is Danny only is the aggressor when he feels he's stronger than the other guy. When he doesn't, that's when he backs up a lot.
Yeah, I think making being second. I think when you make that when you leave like Herrera did and make Danny be second, I think that's where he struggles sometimes. And that's
when he fought Morales the first time, he gave Morales a lot of respect just based on Morales. You know, and that's why Morales was able to go to 12 rounds with him. But the second fight, Danny showed him no respect. He was the more aggressive because then he felt more confident. The problem is at 147, you're fighting bigger guys that are naturally bigger than you are. When are you going to build that confidence? If you're a guy that, you know what I mean? Like, who at 47 can Danny fight that he's going to feel?
That's a good question.
Paulie Malignaggi.
Paulie Malignaggi. Who else? They can dig up.
Paulie may box the shit out of Danny though.
Hey, which is definitely possible.
It's possible, but I don't.
People speak on Paulie because Paulie got no power, but Paulie's fast for being his age, and he got some real good boxing IQ.
He does.
What type of journeyman you got at 140 that you could throw him in there with?
You said at 140?
147.
Maybe Delorme.
No, it ain't Delorme like the Delorme at 140.
I don't know about saying Delorme. Shit. hey, since Robert Garcia got him, he been looking good with Robert Garcia.
I don't know. For me, he still don't look all that. I mean,
confident.
He fought Mayfield, and he should have. If he would have been more aggressive with Mayfield, that fight would have ended sooner. But he literally, he throws maybe 20 punches around, and it's not even like he's so. I don't know. He's suspect to me. For me, and he's Puerto Rican, and I'm Puerto Rican, and he's suspect for me.
I'm not gonna bust your bubble.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I was waiting on it.
Miguel know I was going with it too.
Hey, I was sure waiting on it. That's why I started laughing.
I ain't gonna say it, but I'm gonna let it run.
All right. CJ, he's Puerto Rican until he gets beat again, then he could be Dominican.
So I mean.
No, but you know what though? We kind of strayed away from it, but so far with the Ortiz and Matisse. Now, what are things y'all looking for in that Ortiz can present problems to Matisse?
I think with Matisse having been this is a big punch, been there with some big punches the last 2 times out, like Miguel mentioned. I think that Robert Ortiz should come out there and test him, come out aggressive. Buxton feeling out should come out aggressive, see if you can catch him cold. Because you could tell he having trouble making the weight now, because he coming in the ring at 153, 154 pounds, and that's a sign too. That could be why he got dropped by Molina so much. He's just waiting around to get that belt at 140. He's gonna move right on up too.
But you know what? On the flip side of that, now I think if Ortiz does come out aggressive like that, now I think he puts himself in more danger to get KO'd that way. I think he has to come out with a similar game plan to Molina. How Molina came out jabbing and then throwing throwing the right hand off the jab, because it's like for some reason during the fight with Matisse, it's like he was blinding Matisse with the jab, because man, he was landing some rocket like right hands.
Yeah, that was part of the game plan too. But John Molina done been in there with some elite fighters. He done been knocked out. He done knocked something out. And Ortiz don't know if he belong yet. I don't care what he say. He might feel he belong, but that's why he gonna feel like he belonging. And does he have the ability to have a good jab like John Molina showcase? A lot of fighters don't have what other fighters have, but it's gonna be an explosive fight. If it goes past 3 rounds, it might be fight of the year. I'm saying that.
But you know what?
Hey, it's gonna take a lot to beat out Matisse Molina, because that was a fucking instant classic.
Yep, that was an instant classic. But if we go past 3 rounds, I'm telling you, it's gonna be fight of the year, Ross. And Uriel Gamboa versus Crawford was a hell of a fight.
Oh, hell yes.
That had more electricity than the Floyd and Pacquiao fight had.
You mean potentially would have?
I mean, it's separate bouts. I mean, they pay-per-view bouts. They had just as much electricity as they had. Miguel?
Right, 'cause that was truly like a 50-50 fight there.
Yep.
I was gonna say that I agree with. I think that Ortiz should come out aggressive, just for the simple fact that, I think if he does, he can outbox Matisse. You know, I think they're both big punchers, obviously, but we all know Matisse is not a boxer. You know, so even if he comes out even if he risks getting knocked out, I mean, if Ortiz comes out aggressive and let's say Matisse catches him and he goes down, he can always switch up his game plan early, you know, and make adjustments, just like Thurman did to Soto Karass. You can get rocked early.
See, Ortiz, he isn't that type of fighter though. Ortiz,
no, I know, but
normally a come forward, come get you type guy.
Oh, of course. But what I'm saying is, you know, if he did come out aggressive and they get caught, it's better to get caught early and make adjustments early in the fight than wait to the 8th round where maybe you get knocked down and it's just too late for you to make those changes.
Hey, only thing I'm gonna say to that, Miguel, Mike Dallas. That's the only thing I'm gonna say to that.
Hey, did Mike Jones lose again?
I think he won.
Oh, he won?
I think so. I think he got a decision, if I'm exact.
Well, I was just wondering about that shit, man. I thought Mike Jones was gonna be the next big thing. And then Randall
you know what though?
Arm on his ass.
Hey, speaking of Mike Jones, on our interview with Soto Karass, you know Karass said Mike Jones was the hardest punch he ever faced.
Man, that's shocking.
Hey, it shocked the hell out of me too.
Mm. Damn, Mike Jones is a big ass welterweight though.
He is. Hey, Mike Jones is like a middleweight trapped in a welterweight's body.
That motherfucker was big as fuck, man. When I first seen him, I thought he would have had a Pacquiao fight by now, to be honest.
Exactly. All he had to do was keep winning.
He'd have had his money in this fight, but Randall Bailey.
Soon as Bailey landed that uppercut, it's like, oh shit.
That nigga, man. I was watching that show. I'm like, damn. His blood, his nose was bleeding and shit. That was a good ass punch.
It was. It was perfect too.
You gotta hear Andre Roy describe it. He said, "Man, I heard that punch from." He said they could have 18-ounce gloves on. He was gonna get knocked out.
Man. But all right. What's the predictions for the Matisse versus Ortiz?
I got Matisse and inside 3. Inside 3.
I got Lucas Matisse by 7-round knockout.
Hey. I'm saying if you go past 3, I'm telling you.
You know what? This one's tough for me, man. I don't know.
Pick the underdog. Pick Ortiz.
I want to say Matisse, but I don't want to say Matisse. God damn it. I'm going to say Matisse for now, but that may change.
Matisse by what?
I'll say TKO by the 8th.
All right. Now, last but not least,
anybody can get it.
Main event of the evening.
About business. Madonna ass beans. Man, this is
And then we have Emmanuel Transformer Taylor.
Emmanuel Taylor, a strong motherfucker though.
Yeah, he is. He's strong. You know what? I think he's one of the most underrated boxers in the sport today. Because people look at the fights he lost and they try to judge him as like a bum. That's why I'm hearing a lot of people saying how they think Broner go come out and blitz him.
That's a big motherfucker to be coming out there blitzing.
Huh?
That's a big motherfucker to be coming out there blitzing.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, if Broner come in with that game plan and he just gonna knock that boy out easily, Broner gonna be in for a hell of a night.
It's gonna be a long ass night.
Man, hey, his night might get ended early.
Hey, I'm telling you, when I watched that Chris Algieri fight, he never stopped coming.
He got, you know what? He did keep coming. It's just like Chris Algieri. His awkward skill set, that's what makes him so dangerous, because he's highly skilled and he's already used to
what's gonna get Pacquiao a lot of trouble? What's gonna get Pacquiao a lot of trouble with that boy is that boy used every inch of the ring. If they don't change the ring around, he used every inch of the ring. If you give him a foot to the left, he gonna get out of there. He just don't counterpunch. He just don't counterpunch. He get off first.
Yeah, he do. Also, something else that a lot of people overlooking is he's the type like you know when Manny covers up, put his arms up like this. Hey, Chris Algieri the type he if you give him the body, he will take the body.
Yup. He was underrated. That was a premature fight between him and Taylor, to be honest.
You know what? Hey, honestly, when that fight happened, like I say, I can't lie. I was rooting for Taylor because Taylor, my boy. But hey, Chris Algieri made me a fan after that fight. After that fight, I said, you know what? He gonna do some big things in boxing.
Yeah, that motherfucker, man. When I seen that fight, when I watched it, I was like, damn, Chris Algieri did the same shit to Ruslan. And Ruslan cut off the ring, like one of the best dudes to cut off the ring. And that's gonna be a hell of a fight versus him and Pacquiao. I know people is downing it and saying they ain't gonna order it, but I'm gonna watch it.
I'm gonna watch it too, because I'm a true fan of the sport, and I actually believe that I'm telling people that fight is gonna be competitive.
I'm telling people that shit too. And you know, Emmanuel Taylor already said he coming to bring pressure. He said he watched him Madonna and Broner fight. He said Broner don't do good under pressure. He coming to do pressure, and he ain't doing no shit talking. He all about business.
Yeah. You know what? Basically, that's like this. Like I hear Broner said that he guaranteed. I think he guaranteed that this fight he gonna win by KO before 6.
Man, Emmanuel Taylor might be stronger than him, dog.
Hey, I think Emmanuel Taylor is stronger than him.
He might be strong. That's a big boy he fight though, and Broner gonna have to use that jab. He gonna have to use some movement because Emmanuel Taylor gonna keep coming. And if he get to walking Broner down and pushing Broner back, that's gonna be a sign that he winning in that fight.
Yeah. Hey, see, now this the other thing too. That's like with Carlos Molina in that fight with Broner. Now Broner at 135, he had decent. He had some serious pop at 135, but it's like ever since he moved up, it's like his power is like fucking vanished or something.
But you know what, Madonna
he
said
didn't hurt Molina once.
Madonna said that he hit hard though.
Right, but you know what? Now you know Madonna was referring to the punch after the bell, right?
Oh, that's what he was referring to because he said Broner's stronger and he hit harder than Floyd.
Right. You know Madonna gonna say that type of shit now because
I guess so.
Him and Floyd they in the warpath.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, he was a puncher at 35. It's just I think he might have stunted his puncher growth by going straight to 47.
I think so too.
He looked better. He looked more of a puncher at 147 than he did at 40.
He did.
That shit was sad versus Carlos Molina. He didn't even rattle his cage a little bit.
I mean, like I said, I didn't watch the fight. I'll say 3 times, and I'm like, man. I mean, come on, AB. I mean, you don't get me. See, Molina was a fight where he was supposed to come out and wipe him out early. Honestly, that was the type of fight they had Carlos Molina for. And then the even more tripped out part about that is that's like before this fight with Taylor. The John Molina. John Molina was calling for this fight. He even made a rap song about
I
Broner.
heard it. That nigga sounded black as hell too.
He did. He actually showed some rapping skills.
Hell yeah, I was
He
like,
better than Broner to me.
yeah, man. You know, looking at it, that would have been an explosive fight. I think that's a fight that had to go on Floyd card, but that would have been a nice fight. That would have been a fast fight for Broner. He could learn. He really would need to get into camp with Hank Lundy to learn some of the angles and what he would have did.
You know something else that kind of throw me off. Now him and Lundy, they spar with each other, and I'm just trying to see what Broner. I mean, dude, you need to he needs to like adapt some type of. He needs some foot movement because when he just stands, dude, he don't realize how easy of a target he is when he's just standing there.
And he don't know how to move it, and he don't move his upper body.
Right, and when you fighting undermatched guys, those type of flaws, they're not exposed in. But when you start fighting the good to great caliber fighters, they take advantage of that shit.
Yup. He needs to start countering a little bit more too. Transition, like Paulie says, offense from transition to defense and defense to offense ain't too good neither.
It's not. And that's like something else. Like in this fight here. Now he's saying how he's gonna just beat up on Taylor, and I'm just trying to get, dude. I mean, don't get me wrong. See, Broner is the type mid fight he started throwing only 12 to 14 punches around. Like, you ain't gonna win no fight like that.
How you walking down, cats only throwing 12 punches?
Right. You ain't gonna win no fight like that. I'm gonna tell you like this: Taylor is the type to throw maybe 60 to 78 punches around. You are not gonna beat a guy like that throwing 12 punches. I don't give a damn if you land in 11 out of 12. You're not gonna beat a guy like that.
And then you got Broner. He don't get comfortable with throwing his combination. When he throws his combination, he's a machine. But he don't get comfortable throwing the combination until the 6th, 7th, 8th round.
Right. And another thing with him too, he, like you say, he come out slow as hell early. And like you say, around 6th, 7th, 8th round, that's when he try to turn it on a little bit. Then it's like the 10th through 12th round, it's like he take his foot off the gas like he won all the early rounds or something.
That is true.
Come on, AB. I mean, don't get me wrong. You saying how you the future of boxing? You got to show us something.
Yep, you got to show me some better foot movement. All right, Miguel said he finished for the night.
Huh?
Miguel said he finished for the night. So let's make this prediction and then hop on one more topic I want to talk about.
All right, go ahead.
I got Broner by robbery.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I can tell you this honestly. Like I say, I'm sitting here and I'm saying in my head like, damn, I know Broner's the biggest star. It's his hometown. I'm not sure they'll give Taylor a decision, but to kind of throw the boxing politics out of it, I'll say I got Taylor by close split decision, 115-113.
I'll take Broner by majority decision.
Yeah, right. I'll say majority decision.
All right, the other topic I wanted to hop into was the Floyd Mayweather versus Madonna coming up. And does it seem a little bit, some of the bickering seem a little bit staged this time around to try to settle for a little bit more?
I kind of said that too. That's like the whole little situation with 50 Cent. I notice it's like every time Mayweather's going to have a fight and it's getting near, 50 Cent start constantly popping off about him. Oh, Floyd, you this. You can't read. You can't spell. You can't do your ABCs and all that other good shit. It's like every time that's like, honestly, he's still basically clowning Floyd, talking about Miss Jackson. But the thing is this with Miss Jackson, okay, she moved on. She has a new man now. Dude, let the shit go. But to sell the fight, what does 50 do? He keeps talking about it, and what do? They get all the casual people like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna watch this next Mayweather fight. Maybe 50 Cent come there and talk some shit to him or something. We know that ain't gonna happen, but by it being a possibility, that's another way to sell pay-per-views, in my opinion. I'm not saying Floyd is still a pay-per-view star, but as we seen with his last few numbers, even though everybody keeps saying unofficial, but I mean, this is the thing. This is how I'll say how I know when the numbers didn't do too good. When they don't announce the numbers, they didn't do good.
No, I think it's just more also even the Robert Garcia trash talking and the stunts, the act. It's not genuine. It's just they kind of both like each other between Garcia and Mayweather. They exchange a lot of good genders, good wills and stuff. But I think it's a little bit more staged to settle fight.
Right.
Him giving him a rematch, like where else did he have to go? I mean, Amir Khan looked like he a good 180, 180, and 190.
Oh man, dude, that picture was horrible. I'm like, what the hell?
Right now, dog. and just take a picture and into my head. But
man,
he had no elsewhere to go.
Hey, I know you on the beach and all, but Jesus Christ, dude, you a 147 pounder. Shit, he look like he's about Chavez Jr. size.
Who you telling, man? And you know, Shakespeare, I just don't. With all the bickering, I just like genuine fights. I know it's a genuinely good fight. I know the first Madonna Mayweather fight, I knew it was gonna be a good fight. Just the type of fighter Madonna is. He never in a boring fight. There's certain fighters that you know, if you put in a fight, if you put Floyd in there with Lucas Matisse, that's gonna be a good fight.
Right.
But they don't have the names to sell the fight, and Madonna doesn't have a premier name, but he's getting a premier name now.
Yeah, he is.
He's getting it now because of Spoiler versus Floyd and the good fight he gave him. And they trying to put all these stunts and extra toppings on top of the fight, making it a 147 and 154 pound belt, all the bitches and hoes.
Right.
But fight with Madonna a little bit more all access, so he started to get more exposure. And win, lose, or draw, a respectable loss for Madonna is bigger than a win for Floyd Mayweather in this fight.
I agree.
Madonna can retire, or he can go make money. He'll probably be the second, third, fourth. He'll be the top 5 star in the 147 division. Guys are gonna want to fight him. And
most definitely.
If he can somehow get away and go to top rank, he gonna make a shit ton of money.
You know what I'll say is with Maidana. Now, like you say, a loss for him is bigger than a win for Floyd. But also look at this on the flip side. Imagine Maidana scoring a knockout win. Do you know how fucking huge that would be for him?
I'll retire on top.
Oh,
just
shit.
Just like Marquez was supposed to retire on top.
Right.
What Bradley say? He said I would have took that photograph and went home with it. I would have went out of my career just like that. I would retire.
Hell yeah. But you know what? See, I think Maidana the type. Like say if he was to get a knockout win, I think he'll be the type to be like, you know what, fuck it. Now I want to move up. I want to fight Canelo or something like that. I think he's the type to do something like that, and then take a fight that he'll end up getting spanked in.
Yep, it'd be good. That really will shake shit up.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He don't possess the arsenal to set up a knockout. He possesses the power, but he doesn't. If he doesn't possess the arsenal to do it, but he got the style to make it a rough, tough fight. He can wear Floyd down, but Floyd stretching with the Alex Ruiz, talking about he getting strong. He's stronger for this fight, eating better for this fight. We might see a more physical Floyd coming out of this fight, but it's gonna be a good fight. So it's 11 o'clock. I'm going ahead and wrap it up. This your boy CJ Goodfella, aka King Goodfella. Shout out to Big Cool and Mouse and
Smooth Cat.
We gone.
All right.